The U.S. is flying Haitians camped in a Texas border town back to their homeland and trying to block others from crossing the border from Mexico. Planes left the airport in Del Rio, Texas. On board, some of the estimated 13,000 people, mostly Haitians, who were living in camps underneath this bridge on the border.
We've never seen anything like this. This is completely and totally out of the norm of anything that we've ever seen.
Crowds so massive they could be seen from far away. The Haitian migrants who had already been living in Central and South America before converging on the border do not want to return to their home country, which has been rocked by political violence and natural disasters like the recent earthquake. The White House expects to transfer 3,000 of the migrants away from the bridge by the end of today, saying they'll use a Trump-era health policy which permitted the expulsion of migrants without allowing them to seek asylum.
We have authorities by reason of that special circumstance, and we will exercise those authorities.
The Haitian government does not want them back. The New York Times reports Haiti is asking the U.S. for a humanitarian moratorium on the deportations. But overnight, Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas announced 600 more border agents are being sent to Texas to expedite the expulsions. Texas Senator Ted Cruz went to the Del Rio Bridge and tweeted this video of the thousands of Haitians. Border officials are now patrolling the river and stopping migrants from crossing into the U.S., while officials try to prevent a humanitarian disaster under the bridge.
We are bringing additional resources to assist with security, migrant care, transportation, and processing. We are providing food, water, portable toilets, towels. Emergency medical technicians are available for first aid.
The Haitian migrant crisis comes as the border has already been swamped by the highest number of migrants in 20 years, reaching over 200,000 in both July and August. Meanwhile, the Senate parliamentarian has blocked the Democrats' push to include a pathway to legal status for illegal migrants in their social spending plan, a big blow to the party's goal of immigration reform. Dale Hurd, CBN News.
Well, these are absolutely incredible stories that we're hearing about this current administration. And I have to put it out there, I think they're getting an absolute pass from the news media. I've never seen anything like this. And we've been reporting on the migration crisis since April and calling to account, why aren't we enforcing our own border? And that was back when it was 160,000, 170,000 a month. We're now topping 200,000. But here's what happened. You had news media on Friday afternoon covering this, covering with helicopter shots to show the direct link between Mexico, how they're crossing that river right by that spillway and then pooling around underneath that bridge. And the numbers that you could clearly see were enormous. What does the administration do? Well, they institute a no-fly zone. Imagine the Trump administration doing that. What kind of coverage would we see? What kind of outrage would we see from that? And we're not getting any of that. But this isn't the only thing. A sitting U.S. president was censored by the Parliament of Great Britain. Why? Because of the withdrawal from Afghanistan. I've never seen that the Parliament would censor a sitting president. Let me add to it, the incoming Chancellor of Germany said the withdrawal from Afghanistan is a watershed event in NATO, that from now on, Germany would recognize that America was in it just to protect their own interest. And that's because of the withdrawal and how it put German citizens at risk inside of Afghanistan. Then let's add to it, for the first time, France has withdrawn their ambassador. That is an earthquake in diplomatic circles, and we're seeing practically no coverage of any one of these events. You add to it the vaccination policy, where we're going to require all employers to either mandate vaccination or weekly tests for every single employee. These things are just absolutely incredible, but there's no coverage. And I'll put it to you, Imagine Trump had done any one of these things. What would have happened? How many news reports, how much screaming on cable news would we have heard? But right now, we're not hearing it.